welcome to another podcast episode on M&D Fantasy. I'm Duncan, and with me as always is my friend Momo.
Hello everybody. Before we dive into this new book, we wanna, take few moments first to speak about our last episode, which was fairly successful for our standards.
Definitely unexpected.
Apparently you guys have similar obsession as we do, man. And I know, to be honest, man, I was very mad at both of us that we forget adaptation to some RPG game, man.
Yes, but what I'm ashamed of that too, because we are gamers as well. And I think Mako and some other The Rope on the YouTube commented that it would be nice if Malazan was made into form of video game RPG. And I think also that to be true. At least it should be consideration. And we forgot it as gamers. I feel ashamed, man.
Yes. When I saw that comment, I was like, how the fuck I didn't remember that?
Yes, same.
But anyway, we really enjoy making those episodes, and we are planning to make like more specialized episodes in future. We just need to, get inspiration about what we wanna talk about.
But do you know what I wonder, man? Did
Okay,
people,
what?
because for you guys that don't know what we talk about, we have a podcast and we have structured schedule. Every Monday we released episode of Malazan and it's following the chapters, and we finished Gardens of the Moon. And then we decided, I don't know why, but we simply decided to do one episode for fun. And it was more relaxed. So my question is, did people like this because it's more relaxed? Or did they maybe like it because it was more visual, because we put pictures? Usually what we do, we release an episode and there is one static photo in the background.
I think it's kind of both of those things, and plus, I really think that people were interested in the theme that we were discussing. And I have some ideas in future, like dedicating one entire episode, I don't know, for discussion about warrants, to explaining them in depth. And I think, people would really enjoy those episodes.
Well, I hope so. Our first episode of this, relaxed
Format, let's say.
this relaxed format, I don't know, it was huge success. It's already almost top 5 viewed videos on our page. So that really surprised me. And if you guys really would like us to make some other episode, you can write in comment. We can also maybe even alternate. Sometimes put
you
these
remember,
types.
when we were going out for coffee a couple of days ago, you said that you would, for example, wanna do episode like, is Malazan for you? And I think, maybe that would be, there is a lot of good material to make episode about that. Like,
Definitely.
for people who are, on the fence, should they read Malazan, should they not? We could, take maybe half to 1 hour to explain to people, what Malazan is, because it is fairly unusual fantasy series.
We could do that, guys. We have so many ideas. I don't think we are running out of ideas anytime soon, but we would like to know if you guys maybe love those more relaxed, and should we put them more frequently?
I honestly think that we could dedicate like 20 years just for Malazan, and
I feel same.
and we would still have material.
Yes, but another question here for you guys: would you maybe like if instead of the picture of our podcast,
To see
or at
our
least
ugly
on
mugs.
YouTube, we would put, for example, camera of our faces, maybe extra thing, maybe on top of audio, maybe you would like something more visual. Maybe it's even that.
Thing is, I noticed that people who are doing something similar that we are doing, and if they have camera, they tend to have more views, and I understand that because I kind of prefer the same also. So we are kind of thinking about that option too in future. And another thing is, man, because we are doing this on YouTube, I kind of feel that we are wasting opportunity. YouTube is kind of visual media.
That's right.
We are really seriously considering maybe getting cameras, and I'm afraid that Duncan is too ugly for the camera. That is my main concern, guys.
But that's why you will shine in your glorious beauty.
What a lie. What a lie. But it still felt good, man, even though I know it's a lie.
But there's another thing. We are obviously considering to purchase cameras, and you guys probably know from our audio technical aspects, we are terrible at audio. So you could maybe tell us, are there any budget cameras for this what we need? We just need basically camera that would, show our faces, maybe some of our interactions. Nothing huge, nothing big. We need budget camera. If you are some technical, geniuses or something, you can write us in the comment.
Yes, that would actually help us very, very, very much if you guys could recommend us something that is not too expensive, but that is, like possible, at least for now. It doesn't need to be great, but I don't want it to lag, for example. I would rather not use camera than use camera that will, lag.
Yes, and you guys know that we are poor as dirt, so something around $30, 40 maybe? Does it exist? But okay, shall we speak a little bit about the book? We are starting the second book of Malazan.
We are starting new book of Malazan, and 10 minutes we didn't even mention it. But before we start, I wanna just take a moment to give thanks to Corporal Nobs from DeviantArt and from Malazan forums and even on Malazan Reddit he is, for allowing us to use this picture. As you remember, guys, for our previous book, we used picture that was kinda connected to book 1, and we were looking for some picture about, that has something with the book 2, and I think we found perfect one.
I love it. First time I saw this picture, I fell in love with it. It's so scream the desert,
Yes.
the Raraku.
And that is like main theme of this book. So again, thank you to Corporal Nobs for being gracious and generous and allowing these two fuckers to use your art for nothing.
But I got some trivia for you guys. I'm not sure if Momo even knows this.
Shoot.
Do you know why Deadhouse Gates is second book?
Because it's not first.
I know, but
I don't know, man.
There was a chance. I'm not 100% sure. I read this somewhere, but there was a chance that Deadhouse Gates was actually supposed to be book 3. And do you know what happened?
Thing is, I don't know exactly what situation you are talking about, but we know that book 2 and book 3 are basically parallel. They are happening at the same time on 2 different places.
The thing is, book 1 and book 3 are Janabakis campaign, and book 3 and book 4 are 7 Cities campaigns, kinda.
Book 2 and 4. You said 3 and 4.
Book 2 and 4.
Yes, you said 3.
Are 7. Sorry. Book 2 and 4 are 7 cities. But this is what I read. I'm not 100% sure, but you guys, if you want, you can go confirm. Book 3 was supposed to be, Memories of Ice was supposed to be book 2. And as Erikson was writing it, something happened, his PC broke and half of the book got destroyed.
Okay, I didn't know that, definitely.
And you know what happened? He got sick of it. He didn't want to go and rewrite all of that. He was, his morale was a little bit, destroyed. So he decided to write instead Deadhouse Gates. And that should be book 2.
So he chose change of scenery, man.
Yes, and I think, to be honest, in my opinion, this is for the best. Because it somehow widened the scope of this fantasy. I think it did it favor.
You know when I realized that it will widen scope of this book?
Book 5?
Book 2. When I opened Dramatis Personae, man.
Yeah.
And so in book 2, I only recognized like Fiddler, Kalam, Absalar, and Crocus. Everybody else was completely new cast.
Yep.
And I was like, what the hell? But this book really introduced a couple of my favorites. I have many favorites in these books. Fiddler is probably my number 1. Quick Bang, Kalam, they are, but Duiker, Maapo, They are all, and of course Malik Rel, who could forget the man, the legend.
What about Coltane?
Yes, Coltane also.
Here is another thing that before we jump into prologue, I just wanted to say that, for example, I feel that me and Momo, we have our favorite campaigns, and usually there is some rivalry between what people consider the best book, and they will either like, for example, Janabakan campaign much more than Seven Cities, or they will like Seven Cities much more. For example, I love them all, but I do have my own preference.
You
For me,
probably
for
like
example,
this.
I always liked Seven Cities more.
I liked Janabaki's campaign more versus Panyon Seer, but I think it has more to do with bridge burners than anything else, honestly.
I don't know why these Seven Cities resonated with me. I just don't know why, but I always had this preference.
For most people, not for most, but for a lot of people, book one is kinda hard to get through. A lot of people actually surrender on book one. And that is why I always say to people, read book two. And if you finish book two and you don't like it, Malazan is not for you.
But can I just say my honest opinion on that? Because
What?
I was like that first time. People told me when I started that just go over book one and see book two. But after I read book two, I felt that it's not as much as that book one is too much complicated. Because book two honestly start complicated as hell. And I was confused when I was reading book two. Almost the
Listen,
same as I was when I was reading book one.
listen, that is like norm for Malazan. You are
Yes,
always
it's Noor.
confused.
Thing is,
But you are just little bit less confused than in Gardens of the Moon. And
it's not only that, it's like you are used to the style. And
yes,
if you can go over book one, you can probably go over book two, but it doesn't get easier. At least not much. That's what I would say.
it does because also I believe I know that you, for example, you don't pay attention for on that, but I think his writing style also improved. And
I
I know
usually
you
do not pay attention to
and I
that.
know that you don't pay attention, but it really is noticeable. And book one is kinda here you can see right from the beginning like what is going on, what is preparing to happen. But in book one, man, you didn't know till the very end what the hell is going on.
I'd say there is some of that, but I just feel that overall it's not like a huge jump in easiness. I still felt
And
that book two
Malazan,
was also complicated.
like Malazan, is always hard. Thing is, I even was explaining to somebody like Malazan is probably my favorite series, probably, but I cannot read Malazan like I could read, for example, Wheel of Time or Stormlight Archive, because Wheel of Time I read the book in couple of days. You cannot read Malazan book in couple of days. It's you need your brain would explode, I think.
I think your brain needs to be a lot more active.
Yes,
And for
exactly.
that, it requires more energy. But
And
there
this
is
is
fun in that.
and this is not me knocking Wheel of Time and Stormlight because I like those also very much. It's just you really need like investment of not only time, but you need to think
Focus.
non-stop, focus when you are reading these books.
True.
Can I ask you something, man?
Shoot.
We were speaking, like last episode how Malazan would look on TV. Can you imagine prologue on TV?
Oh God.
Oh,
Oh
it would
God.
be, man, Red Wedding and things like that would be nothing compared to this.
Would be
Just
like little baby.
Yes, just that moment when Baudin is sewing the neck of that dumb noble woman with the fucking chain. Can you imagine that on TV, man? Or
I don't even want to imagine it.
or when at one point Felicien turn around and she see that those chains where people wear, some of those chains have like just limbs left there.
Yes.
That was, man, carnage.
Red Wedding is a little innocent puppy compared to what happened in prologue here.
Yes, exactly. Man, this was so bloody and it happened so out of nowhere. Because, in book one we mentioned that culling like a couple of times. But man, when you see it happen,
And when you see it from the eyes of person that is about to be culled, kinda.
yes,
Well, this is not exactly culling, this is more like sending people to prisons. Culling is even worse, when they send, a crazy mob to kill people. These were supposed to be prisoners.
man, it was planned that,
Yeah.
a lot of them die. Let's just put it that way.
That's always happen. I hope that this kinda explain to people what this culling does. Why this angry mob? Why are they angry? They are
Man,
angry at rich people.
man, not only that they are angry, of course they are, and in general, people don't like rich people. But man, this is also, man, like outlet for those poor ones who are dissatisfied with their life, and for one day they get to do whatever they want. And we know, man, that people kinda can turn into animals. You can whip them in frenzy very easy. And this is exactly what happened here.
If these guys didn't explain you how terrible this culling is,
Yeah,
I don't know
you
what
will
will.
get it now. But we also, you guys remember from beginning of Gardens of the Moon, we met Paran's sisters, and now we meet them again.
I'm super afraid that we are again, because this is new cast for us guys. I'm afraid that we are mispronouncing. For example, Tavore. Is it Felicin? Is it
Felicin.
Heboric?
Heboric, yes, those are easy names. so
Baudin.
far. Yeah.
What if it's not Tavore? What if it's Tavori? Or what if it's Tavor?
No, Tavore, it's same. It's as long as people understand who we are talking about, in my opinion.
Can you guys please just, if we are butchering somebody, you can just write us.
I swear,
if we are
man,
butchering something
we gotta,
too much.
at least one of us need to buy fucking audio books just for these pronunciations.
I agree. I agree.
But anyway, man, I got the feeling. I don't know if you got that feeling that Tavore doesn't enjoy this. I had the feeling that everything that happened with Paran kind of forced her hand. I think it's even implied by Felicin, since Paran is basically rebelled against Empress, that Tavore didn't have any choice maybe in this.
Well,
But
thing
I'm
is,
not
at
sure.
this point, Felicin is hating her sister. So.
And you wouldn't?
Well, I would. And this is going to be a theme of this book, pretty much. So we are going to go in depth, but here you can glean that both sisters, after this disaster of Paran family, they split. And it's big time split. One rose in the ranks of Malazan Empire and the other became prisoner.
I also think, man, that, they had argument about, I think that Felicin supported Paran decision. I got that feeling. I'm not sure, of course.
Well, that's debatable, but thing is what we got for now is that their fates are completely opposite.
Yes.
After the incident.
And also, man, first of all, I wanna talk a little bit about Heboric Light Touch, because he's very important character going forward. And he's priest of Fenner. He is ex-priest actually. But thing is, man, he's also historian. And why he is in this situation is because he apparently wrote revised history of what happened at that fateful night when Dancer and Khaled were killed.
Not just on that night. He was writing, more.
Yeah. And of course, Lassine wasn't satisfied with that.
But you know how he called her in this book?
I don't remember, but he said that not only that she is murderer, but she is failed murderer.
Yes.
And
failed murderer.
And Lassine is ex-Clav. So yeah. that didn't sit well with her. But what's also very important to notice, guys.
Do people understand what this means? What Heboric at least feels? What does it mean to be a failed murderer?
Oh, yeah, she's incompetent.
No, not only that. She wanted to kill somebody, but did she succeed?
No, she failed.
According to Heboric.
Yes. That, but we already know that they are alive.
Kinda. we are still on the fence with this.
But you know what was else? I missed this completely when I was first reading. How this Bowden, he's supposed to be some street thug, right?
Yes.
How does he know, for example, when Heboric is speaking about what he did, and Bowden apparently know about his book, he even read it. And this is not easy book to get by, because this is like forbidden book. And he know about that book. He know about contents of that book.
What type of thug this Bowden is? I don't understand.
Yes,
man.
and also, man, he know about that red sword guard, I think it's called like that.
Yes.
How some street thug have information, and when Heboric points out that he shouldn't know that information, Bowden kind of feel uncomfortable. So keep that in mind, guys.
Do you know what else I wonder? I wonder, for example, if Felisin was somewhere else in this chain, would she survive this walk of shame or whatever you wanna call
Man,
it?
she was at, I think, best place.
Between Bowden and Heboric.
And Bowden was beast, killing everybody. He was, doing carnage there. And Heboric, nobody dared to approach him.
Man, Felisin was super lucky in this prologue.
Yes, very, very lucky. But let me ask you this, man. Was that
Yes.
Hood that showed himself to Heboric?
Okay, so here is one thing, guys. This I cannot speak to you about this directly because it's kind of spoiler of something that's gonna happen in future. But there was definitely a little skirmish between Hood or somebody of Hood and Fenner here.
Yes.
And there is importance to this, but you are not supposed to know this at this point, and we wanna keep the feeling of our podcast as spoiler free. So that's all I will say here. You are supposed to be confused.
So basically, even though he's ex-Fenner priest and he doesn't believe he lost like his faith, apparently Fenner is not done with Heboric. Let's just put it that way.
But I feel maybe we could jump into chapter 1.
Yeah, I'm thinking did we miss something, but probably not. I think we got everything.
Chapter 1 it's split into 3 stuff. First 2 parts we learn about new people and we learn about Maapo and Icarium.
Man, Maapo is one of my favorites. He's such a, bro.
You said bro, and I wanna, connect something with this. Maybe you guys, somebody who's new, veterans will already know this, but there is style that Erikson prefer, and he's writing bromances.
Yes.
I don't know why, but first bromance probably all know it's Quickben and Callum.
Who doesn't like a good bromance? Honestly.
Well, we all. Maapo and Icarium are second bromance, and there will be more in future, you will see. I cannot wait till you get to Tehol and Bug, for example.
We already got Quickben and Callum, that is first. We already got Hedge and Fiddler. And they are, in my opinion, third bromance.
Yes, Maapo and Icarium are another bros.
And there is tragedy there, guys. You can probably even smell it in every conversation that they have. There is sadness of both of them, in my opinion.
But do you know what I wonder, man? Is this bromance birthed from, for example, co-playing those games with Esselmont and Erikson? For example, are they, when they play the game, were one of them Quickben, other Callum? Same with Hedge, Fiddler, Maapo, Icarium. Is it that?
I believe so, man.
Because there are many bromances, guys, as you will, find out. So maybe it's that.
Possibly, man, when you know somebody for a long time, you simply, me and you know each other for a long time. And I know exactly how you think, how you function, what you will like, what you will dislike. Sometimes we don't even need to say anything, to know what other is thinking.
Definitely. But I love the bromances. I don't know. I love it.
Yeah, but now I gotta say something.
Shoot.
After this whole talk, I gotta say, no homo.
I did not expect that.
But we just started this book and there is already like mention of some convergence. There
Yep.
are apparently these divers and soul takens are all traveling somewhere in hope of reaching ascendancy.
I think this is a great moment to explain difference between soul taken and divers. According to, I don't know, was it Map or Ikarim who said it?
You know how I always imagine this? And
How?
I'm not even sure that this is correct. Like, soul taken is like stronger diver.
I'm not sure if it's like that. All I see here is that, for example, soul taken is one. It's like one usually extremely powerful beast.
And divers is like
It's
divided.
multiple. And we meet here several of those already. I
You
think
know,
even in first chapter.
you
One
know
of
what?
them was this Grillen that is multiple rats, for
Yeah, we don't
example.
meet him. We hear about him, and he is very
Yes.
nasty. But you know what was the thing that I missed completely, 100%. I don't know if you guys noticed from Gardens of the Moon when we were speaking when Tattersail first meet Quick Ben. Do you remember, Duncan? What is the smell of Quick Ben?
I don't remember.
Spicy scent.
Oh, yeah.
And here, man, whenever there is soul taken at divers, there is spicy scent about them.
Could it be hint at something? Or maybe maybe he has spicy perfume.
It's possible, certainly, but I really doubt it.
But here's my question to you, man. I don't know if you remember when you were first reading this. Were you confused about this conversation between Ikarium and Mappo?
Man, I was confused as hell, but I think on second reread you can get the glimpse. Actually, not get, you definitely should get the glimpse that Ikarium doesn't remember his past.
And not only that, there's another thing. Mappo was super happy that there was no confrontation between them and Rilandaras. He
Yes.
was actually dreading.
But he
the
was not
fight.
happy because, this Rilandaras is strong. He will kill us, he will hurt us. He
Something
was afraid.
scared the hell out of him.
Yes. But you know what was funny to me? This Rilandaras is threatening, I will kill you first. And at one moment, Ikarium said, Maapo, I'm bored. And Rilandaras thinking, Maapo Rantan Ikarium? Okay, I got no beef with you guys. Sorry,
I gotta go.
I'm going. Can I hunt that other guy, please? Please, do I have your permission? And that is the moment when I realized, okay, one of these guys, probably Ikarium, is somebody fucked up. But
Or maybe both.
and also, man, he's half Jagut.
Yep.
And also, we forgot to mention Maaporant is Trell. That is another new species, guys. How did you imagine Trell, man?
I don't know. They
Do
are
you
like.
do you remember Bristleback from Dota?
Yeah.
Does he remind you a little bit of that?
But these guys are also hairy.
Yes.
This guy is hairy.
Yes, but they have some, I think
Bristles, I know.
and they are hairy and they are kind of bestial looking. You know
Like
what?
those primal,
Yes.
powerful.
Yes. You know what else I missed first time when I was reading this, book?
What?
His fucking bag, man. He's just pulling shit
Uh-huh.
out of it.
Yeah, that's important, guys. Pay attention to it.
He's just, everything he needs is his fucking bag. What the fuck is that bag? Just think about it, guys. And keep attention to it in future.
Yeah, but I think we should go with the second part, unless you have something else to add.
No, I don't. But I just wanna say that these soul taken divers, they are traveling somewhere where they believe they will reach ascendancy, and we already explained kinda what ascendant is.
Yes, and for example, it's unique. This is a unique occurrence that's about to happen, and these soul takens and divers, they know it's about to happen.
Yes, and they just call it path, I think so.
Yep. And they are going after it.
But in this next part, we read a little bit more about Duncan's favorite character, his role model, actually. And
no.
it's Malik Rel.
thing is, point of view from the second part is another historian, Duiker. I hope that we are not butchering his name. And thing is, in this chapter we get glimpse of little bit of history here from Duiker. And this guy is kinda gonna, I don't know, he's gonna be conduit for us to see a little snippets of history. And if you are first time reader, you are probably going to miss this. And that's why we are here. We're gonna keep you up to date.
Yes, but basically what's happening here is another very important character, at least for this book, Coltane, is appointed fist of the army that is supposed to stop rebellion. An important thing to notice here that this Coltane was not so long ago, he was enemy of Malazan. He raised his own rebellion. An old emperor had a hard time winning. But after he won, he somehow got his loyalty.
And what did Lassine do?
Of course, she put him somewhere in some hole in the wall, like all the old guard.
That should be to you sign as to who might be better leader? Maybe?
Oh, it's not even close, but...
But thing is, I would urge you guys to get a map or something so you can feel this part of history because it's rich. And it should explain you, for example, there are Wickham Plains and where this war in past was, and for example where this war is right now. Because I'm not sure, for example, if Coltane would be fist somewhere close to his people and fighting against them. But now they are in 7 cities, and that's not where Wickham Plains are.
Yes, you won't send commander from, I don't know, city to fight against that city. You send him somewhere else, of course.
And did you saw that moment when you realized just how unquestioned and how undisputed his rule over Wiccans is?
Yes, that moment where, he made them settle up in like less than 1 minute.
It wasn't like this. I just snapped my finger. He cried some war cry.
Yes.
But it was almost as if he snapped, and it in instant. Everything, all commotion stopped.
I'll just say to you guys, one thing about loyalty, man, it's earned. When somebody who is worth your loyalty is, great man, you will be forever loyal to him. Unless you are a piece of shit, of course.
And now you can see that this Coltane is that such a man.
Yes.
Because, it's simply how Erikson wrote it, you should get that from this sentence.
Yes, that is another thing. For example, a lot of people are when I say that I love Whiskey Jack, and they say to me, man, he didn't do nothing to deserve. He is bland character, but that is what Erikson does perfectly, man. He write character like Whiskey Jack, and he didn't do anything really honorable in book 1. What did he do, honestly?
Well, not much. He did so many things in past, but we cannot speak about that.
Everybody else is giving to this man their undying devotion, loyalty.
Yes, and you know it. You know that he's a great man.
Yes, and I know, even though I didn't see him do anything like grand, I know that this man deserves loyalty, and that is why I love him. And that is how Erikson writes these characters. He doesn't say, oh, he did this, but how other characters from the universe react to this guy, I kinda do too.
But I feel we are going to back to the good part.
We are finally going to somebody who we actually know.
Yes.
And man, this was short part, but it was incredibly...
Fiddler is miserable.
Oh man, yes, apparently he's not water type Pokemon.
No.
But man, another... But I think this is Soul Taken.
This is definitely Soul Taken that they have skirmish with.
And it's like some huge underwater worm. But you know what is the thing in Malazan universe, man?
Yes, I know.
In a game of rock, paper, scissors, Kasser win usually.
Kasser win versus anything.
Man, that guy, he tried to bite into Kasser.
Very intelligent creature.
He fucking tried to bite it, and what happened? Where's your head now? Where's your head? And they, but you know what when first time I was reading this, I was wondering, man, this fiddler, he's just some, like random guy for all the appearances. And he just killed Soul Taken. And he not only killed that Soul Taken, but he kinda killed it in his territory. They were on water. And they are
He
like,
didn't just kill him, he just kinda casually.
yes, and they are like, just another day at work. Nothing special.
Yeah.
So what these guys went through, and this is another, like I spoke earlier, Erikson doesn't show us, that doesn't tell us who these guys are, what they did, but we can like understand from their reaction of fucking Soul Taken and how they are calm when they killed it, that this is like, nothing special to them.
Just another day.
Yes, but here we also find their plan, man. And it was strange to me that at the end of last book they kinda left there the rest of the bridge burners when those bridge burners are heading into war. But here we find out that there is actually good reason for that. They are going to
Yes.
murder fucking Empress.
But it seems everybody knows what's about to happen, except for one guy, who's confused still.
You know what part I like, man? When Crocus is like, you two are going to kill Empress, and Upsalar starts and man smiling like sorry, and she is like, okay, I remember. Kalam is not just an assassin.
Quick Ben is just not the mage.
Yes, but apparently, Kalam and Quick Ben, before they became bridge burners, they were chasing Quick Ben, and their guide was Kalam, who was double agent, of course.
But Whiskey Jack knew.
Yeah, but you know what's strange to me, man? How he got their loyalty?
I think simply by being who he is.
Probably. Anyway, guys, this is it for this episode. I hope you will enjoy it. See ya next week. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them in comment section or Reddit. See ya, guys.